Monster hunting is coming to Star Citizen.
Yes.
And the best part was starting off this epic series of fights with the infamous Valakkar, who some of you may remember from 2016.
Oh, it was 2016. You were right, Gruff. I thought it was
This
2015. It's
absolute monster of a
2016.
creature is 300 meters long and sees your light fighters just as puny little ants. You're going to need to assemble your quickest and most nimble pilots to dodge the Valakkar's ranged attacks.
What about the
As well as your
A2?
fastest drivers to bait out the Valakkar from the surface, as it's the only way to bring this mighty creature out
Yes,
of the ground.
Gruff, you
is by
were.
is by disturbing the surface with a ground vehicle. But how does the Valakkar stack up to our crew? Well, unfortunately, the Valakkar stats don't really fit on the screen due to being so powerful. But for some context, it's around 150 times harder to kill than an Aegis Avenger Titan. But to be fair, it's most likely to kill you. So how does it do that? Well, the deadly Valakkar has a variety of ways of killing possible threats. So for a high-level overview of the fight, it regurgitates rock-hard sand that has been compressed inside the Valakkar and uses it as a projectile to target.
Yeah, we saw that. That's
But
insane,
if something's
man.
a bit too close for comfort in the sky, it uses its ginormous body to swipe ships out the way.
Yeah, we saw that
Anything
too.
on the ground that it sees as a threat will have to contend with its bite or its deadly slam. So, little bit fun bit of information. As the Valakkar becomes more injured, it will retreat back into the planet's surface, and you'll need to make sure that your ground vehicles stay alive or have backups to bait out the creature again, as well
Wow.
as keeping it interested. So, the big question, in a game like ours, how are we going to communicate the health of this creature?
Yes, right?
Well, things being physicalized is at the heart of Star Citizen. And we know how much of a
so you
large
have to
fight the
look
Apex
for the
Valakkar is,
injury.
and we need to communicate that in a diegetic way. So you'll see here the Valakkar's health from 100% to 1%. You'll see its skin getting more battered and bruised as the fight progresses, to give you an idea of where you are and how close you are.
Nice, nice, nice.
So the nice thing about this,
That
it
makes
communicates
sense.
the Valakkar's health.
So there's no
without the
health pool,
UI
right? There's
or
no health
bars,
bar.
and
You just
purely keeps
look
you
at it to
immersed in the
guess
experience.
how badly injured it is, right?
So,
Warm fight,
Number
yes,
one
Pablo.
question, why do you want to kill the Valakkar? Well, because it's fun, but I know you sweaty gamers, so it's got loot, also known as
Yes.
harvestables. The Valakkar has two very valuable harvestables. Firstly are its pearls. You'll need to mine growths on a variety of locations of Valakkar to reveal these pearls. And once you've destroyed the growth skin, you'll see disgusting squidgy innards.
No. They're just going to be
But
on Monox.
Next
That's
is
it.
its big apex teeth. These are within its mouth, and you'll need a very strong tractor beam to be able to yank these things out.
Oh.
And these harvestables will not all come out at the same quality. So you'll be able to learn more about that. and
So
how
not
harvestables
all
are
of them
gonna be
will
used
provide the
tomorrow
same money.
in
Okay,
crafting
good.
your home.
See, guys, the Red Club. It's
So,
not just about
a
fighting
fun thing
baddies.
here
We'll be
is you'll
fighting
see
worms
the character
too.
is standing within the Valakkar's mouth as well. So when it dies, it keeps its collision, meaning that you can climb on it, land ships on it, and it's essentially your playground. But this really shows how big it is. But how big is it really? Well, fun bit of information.
Wow,
When we
look at
first
that.
made the collision for this model, Star Engine actually gave us an error saying, like, no living thing needs to be this big. You've accidentally added an extra 0 onto the size. But to give you an idea of the sheer ridiculous
So they had to
scale of this
reprogram
monster,
the
you'll see
engine
here
to
at
make it
Idris.
work.
Anyone who's done Xenothreat knows how big the Idris is. You feel like an
Mm.
ant when you're in the Idris, and this makes the Idris look small. There's also an Aegis Avenger Titan here as well, but if you look even closer, there's actually a Copion in this image. I'll give you a second to try and spot it.
I didn't even see it.
There it is.
Where?
Welcome to
Oh,
anyone who spotted it. So it's big. So for some fun numbers, it's 250 Copions long, 47 Aegis Avenger Titans long.
For not the
For our
same kind of
American
worms,
friends, that's
Diplo.
about 3.5 football fields. But lucky for our Copion friends, the Valakkar actually comes in different sizes.
Oh.
So you'll be familiar with the variants we've done before with our quasi-grazers and our Copions. They're in different biomes and they have different aesthetics.
So the Valakkar has
Moving
variants
on,
too.
we want to also introduce different creature sizes. So these sizes will have unique behaviors, animation, audio, and harvestables associated to each size. So for our first size, we have the juvenile. These juveniles will respond to stimulus such as noisy footsteps and loud mining beams.
Leave
This
their
will
mineral
cause them to
deposits
burst out the ground and
on those
attack
surfaces.
anyone who's disturbing them. And you'll find these in caves near valuable harvestables and minerals.
Oh,
So for our next size, adults. The adult Valakkars know not to pick fights and tend to remain to themselves. However, if you exterminate too many juvenile Valakkars, this will cause adults to show up, which are 3 times larger and a lot more angry.
No, it should be okay.
Creature sizes are great because they allow us to create varied experiences as well as show you how creatures grow and evolve in the environments they live in and grow up in. Beyond that, we have our apex, which has the most valuable harvestables and the most deadly attacks. It's also the biggest living thing in the verse, so far.
So far.
So, in summary, monster hunting is coming. This is the first in a large series of apex creatures that you need to gather your crew together to take down.
I was not expecting the Valakkar to be the first apex. I was hoping that it would be the Yeti or the Space Yeti.
Everyone at CIG is incredibly excited to get the Valakkar into your hands, and we
the
hope it
Boreal
shows that we're not
Stalker,
only
that's the
doubling
name
down
of the,
creatures, we're
of the
also
Space
committed to
Yeti.
bringing you gameplay experiences that only a game of our scale can provide. But that's all for the Valakkar, for this Valakkar. Let's take a look at some other fauna.
Oh!
Now, the Valakkar is very exciting, but I also want to share with you the bigger picture for creatures. So let's start with some Valakkar variants. Variants so far have typically just had alterations to their loot and appearance. However, we want to go further with what variants can be.
Oh my
For example,
gosh.
what if the Valakkar evolved and grew in a swamp environment instead of a desert planet? Or if a Valakkar never made it to the surface and only lived in drowned caves? These are the kind of questions that make sci-fi one of the best mediums. And I can hear the questions
This
already.
looks so
What does
scary.
an adult cave Valakkar look like? What does an apex quasi-grazer look like? Well,
An
these
apex
questions get everyone
quasi-grazer.
excited that works on
Yeah.
creatures to give you a glimpse into the big picture. All of these variances and differences and new creatures make up what we call our fauna matrix. The fauna
What's
matrix
this?
is basically our creature encyclopedia. So these concepts should show you that we want to get more weird and wonderful with our creatures. We've started off with more traditional animal references like dogs and birds and cows.
Oh, they've already
But
refined
now
all their
we're integrating
creatures
things that we
for
love about sci-fi,
1.0.
which is the weird and the unknown. So, looking at where we're going, all of our creatures have been defined for the road to 1.0.
Space
We've
jellyfish.
ensured we've got a rich, diverse, distinct roster of creatures to make each of our planets feel special. As well, as concealing the unique elements of various planets, ensuring that they're populated with appropriate creatures. We've been designing creatures in mind.
I don't
so that
recognize the
planet
ship there.
ecosystems influence their behaviors, designs, aesthetics, and harvestables. With that being said, I would like to give you a sneak peek at our fauna matrix. That's all from me. I'm very happy to bring the Valakkar to all of our backers. It's really like nothing else you've played before. I'll leave you with this last video. Enjoy the rest of Citizencon, everybody.
No. No, these are not space whales. No, we got the Copion there, the Morocco, the Space Cow, the Valakkar, and wow, like the space whale. Ah, there it is. The little dogs. There's a good boy down there.